The new expansion for EVE Online, Catalyst, launched on Tuesday, and for those who haven't been keeping track, that means the introduction of a number of new mining ships and mining sites, as well as some tweaked mechanics and a new exploration command ship, but we're going to be focusing on new mining ships in this video. I talked very briefly about the position these new mining destroyers might take in the game in my video about the announcement of the Catalyst expansion. It looked at the time like these would be a useful addition to the progression of mining ships, adding any progression at all for alpha characters and providing a stepping stone between the Venture and the mining barges for Omega characters. That seems to have panned out more or less as expected, but let's take a closer look at how these ships perform compared to each other. Starting off with gas hoving, purely because this was the first thing I compared with the intention of using the Pioneer Consortium issue to replace my fleet of Ventures for low second wormhole gas diving. Right away you can see that the very first mining ship you ever unlock in EVE Online is the best ship available for gas huffing until you unlock the Exhumas. These are all unboosted figures by the way, except for the Outrider, which I put boosts on since that seems only fair as it's perfectly capable of boosting itself. I'm not against the early game ships being good at gas huffing. Gas huffing is actually one of my favourite activities to recommend to new bros. It encourages you to explore and learn the layout of your local areas, it teaches you how to scan sites, and the income is much better than you can get mining rocks with a Venture in most cases. It's also something much more compatible with self-directed activities, as you don't really need compression or boosts to make it worthwhile in the way that you do for mining ore. So it's really disappointing to me that despite being able to fit a third gas scoop, the Pioneer and its Consortium issue variant huff gas at the exact same rate as the Venture. Something in between the Exhuma and Venture yields would have been a great way to add some diversity to the use cases of different mining ships prior to what is undoubtedly later game mining content with the Exhuma. Do you remember how long it takes to train into an Exhuma? Just about 2 months, assuming you don't train anything else. And that's just to sit in the ship, not including any of the actual mining efficiency skills, or god forbid the reprocessing skills if you want to use mining crystals. Looking at asteroid ore mining, things do improve a bit. The Pioneer Consortium issue sees a 49.4% increase in mining yield compared to the base Venture. This is more the sort of improvement I'd been hoping to see across the board, with the ship providing a good midpoint between the Venture and the mining barges. In this aspect, it is achieving the goal I originally hoped it would when it was first announced. The mining holds too have seen a nice upgrade, with an extra 3,000 meters cubed or 5,000 meters cubed compared to the Venture in the Pioneer and Pioneer Consortium issue respectively. The Outrider's mining hold is actually absurd, and you can see on the right column here the time to fill in seconds for T1 mining. Just as an example. It's clear that the Outrider, despite its lack of industrial core for compression, is going to be a great option for solo miners. It boasts a higher time to fill than any of the barges or Exhumas even, allowing you to stay out for longer without the need for compression. Align time tells an interesting story too. The Venture Consortium issue provides a slight improvement on the Venture, unlikely to make much of a difference though given EVE's tick rate, but the new ships come in swinging here with a considerably lower align time than the barges and Exhumas. For higher risk ninja mining, they definitely work as a good option for alpha characters, but Omega characters will find the Expedition Frigate still take top spot for this application. All of the measurements here are taken with low friction nozzle joint rigs and no low slot modules. I'm not going to compare HP or tank here. I could stand on a soapbox about this for a long time, but newsflash basically, you're only tanking for rats or high sec ganking. If you're not mining in high sec, then you only really need to tank enough to make sure you're not dying to the rats, otherwise you're probably just prolonging your inevitable death in a PvP situation. The focus should be considerably more on your ship's ability to escape, as even the best fitted bait mining ship is no match for a mediocre PvP cruiser. Surviving against rats is going to be very fit dependent too. It's already perfectly possible to rat in nullsec for example with a Venture or Expedition Frigate, provided the right preparation and practice. So the new ships are unlikely to add anything extra to that. I'm looking forward to where they fit in with the winter event though, since mining ship PvP comes into a world of its own in those ice mining sites. I have a lot of fond memories flying around in a combat procurer as a Christmas tradition. Whether or not CCP continues to make post-patch release tweaks to these ships remains to be seen, but from the numbers we have so far, I think our conclusion is clear. If you're an alpha character, or you're just getting started in EVE Online, you should give the new ships a try. They're a welcome addition to the natural progression for training mining. If however you are an Omega player who already has Expedition Frigates trained, then these new ships offer very little for you. Thankfully, you are of course not left out of the content for this expansion. CCP has made many adjustments to mining, including the addition of a new site designed significantly more at the late game players with raw quals and a new crit mechanic. As more information comes out and more experimentation is done, I may talk about that new content in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. If you want to help support the channel, consider buying your next EVE Online pack, subscription, or Plex from marqueedragon.com using the link in the video description. Use coupon code BILL at checkout for 3% off your order.